Orders one day before the Rhode Island Primary Emergency Board of Elections meeting to discuss potentially faulty ballot machines has been canceled.
And 12 News reporter Kate Walsh is live with us this morning. She has more on the reasoning for this canceled meeting. Kate?
Yeah, we're live outside the Board of Elections headquarters in Cranston. This is where there was supposed to be a meeting this morning, but late last night the board sent us an email and in it a copy of a letter from the election software company called ES&S, and they described why they were canceling this meeting. It essentially says that logistically the state has no choice but to use the equipment and software that they've been using during early voting called ExpressVote. It's for people with disabilities or mobility issues to be able to vote with ease by selecting names of candidates on a computer screen, and that's then printed out onto a blank ballot. The software that was previously used was called AutoMark. ES&S said if AutoMark were to be used again due to fear that ExpressVote might be inaccurate, it would take 4 days for the machines to make it to all 395 polling stations. It would take hours and possibly days to upload and test the outdated software. ES&S came under scrutiny when 4 communities reported that due to human error, the candidates from a 2018 ballot were showing up on the Spanish language version of the ballots instead of the 2022 candidates. But ES&S said other than that, they haven't had any other problems reported about their software during early voting. And Secretary of State Nellie Gorbea was asked this weekend about those software issues.
We have addressed the issues with the machines, the Board of Elections, and my office, and the vendor, and we look forward to making sure that every eligible voter can and does vote, especially our people with disabilities. Our voters with disabilities deserve the right to vote.
Now, this ExpressVote system is the first time this season to be used here in Rhode Island, and because of that there has been a lot of finger pointing between state governments. We'll talk more about that in the next half hour. Live in Cranston this morning, I'm Kate Walsh, 12 News.
Thank you, Kate, and stick around here on 12 News as we bring you in-depth coverage of Tuesday's primary election as we track all of the key races for you with updates when the polls close, followed by our election night special at 9 p.m. and then complete coverage on 12 News at 10 and 11 and on our website. If you can't stay up late, we will break down all the results for you Wednesday morning with a look ahead to the November election. First, 12 News, your local election headquarters, a day before the primary. An emergency Board of Elections meeting that was scheduled for this morning canceled.
So the board was going to discuss the use of voting software for people with disabilities that was found to have been faulty in 4 communities during early voting. Kate Walsh joining us live with why the meeting was canceled and the finger pointing this new software has caused. Good morning, Kate.
Good morning. Well, we're live outside the Board of Elections headquarters in Cranston, and the meeting was canceled because of a letter sent to the Board of Elections by the software company ES&S, which essentially said that they would not be able to replace all of this equipment with outdated equipment from years ago that perhaps had fewer errors back when it was used, because the primary is tomorrow. Now, the controversy around this all started when a Providence Spanish-speaking voter discovered in early voting that on the screen of this new software, the candidates' names were from 2018, not 2022. When the software company ES&S looked further into it, it discovered similar instances in 4 cities impacting those with differing abilities using the software in Spanish. But who was to blame for the error? Well, the Board of Elections and Secretary of State's office disagree on which state office is responsible for making sure the machines display the proper data. Now, this is the first time that candidates' names are being uploaded to a computer screen. People with differing abilities select the name and then it prints out on a blank ballot. Target 12 investigator Steph Machado asked the head of the Board of Elections last week who should have checked the names.
We are responsible for checking the tabulation.
So who was responsible for checking the name?
I have no comment on that.
You run the elections in Rhode Island.
We do not. It's a joint effort between us and the Secretary of State's office.
Now, the primary is tomorrow, so moving forward, the Board of Elections did vote last week to create new protocol and procedure to make sure that there is someone specifically to make sure that all the names are accurate for the general election in November. Live in Cranston this morning, I'm Kate Walsh, 12 News.